Okay, good evening from here. You're welcome to Opinion Sharers. It's been 2 weeks now. I think last week we weren't here because many of our people were busy. So today it's going to be me and Tim Lane. And we want to talk about what has been, it sets almost set the internet ablaze throughout this week, and that is Tinubu's Chatham House outing. what we what we saw was that after his speech, you know, he and during the Q&A, he said he wanted to introduce his own, idea. Yeah. So which he called, what did he call it? Teammanship. He called it teammanship. Uh, so whereby he actually apportioned the questions asked to him, apportioned into some of his team members, and so those people would have to answer those questions on his behalf. And I think one thing was also obvious, that these people probably hasn't prepared for this. After all, the people who ask questions, they are from the audience, right? So you couldn't have prepared, just like what we do here also. They couldn't have prepared for it. Anyway, Timlain, what was your own, let's say, uh, perception when you first of all see that, before you begin to see other people's reaction?
Thank you very much for that question. The first thing that came to mind was a feeling of surprise. Honestly, it was a feeling of surprise because I believed this was not the first time Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done a similar thing. When he had a town hall meeting with the organized private sector leaders in Nigeria, I think. So he did a similar thing where Iyaboyeji and other people termed as technocrats were invited to answer questions on his behalf. I thought it was trying to build a team, but that's a different thing. That's an organized program for him. But the Chatham House's philosophy is quite different. It is a platform. It is a platform for leaders to showcase their capacity to lead, not their team's capacity. Now, the Chatham House is a place where you can talk, you can speak to the electorate, and they would have something to hold you accountable to at the end of the day when the chips are down. But I don't know how I am going to hold Nasir El Rufai accountable for insecurity issues when I am Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu peradventure becomes the president of Nigeria. So I don't know how that is going to be possible. How I'm going to be talking about holding, what's the name of this man? Ben Ayade. Well, I'm going to be holding him accountable. So the philosophy of the Chatham House is quite different from what is local in Nigeria. And that is where the problem is. I think it boils down to fundamental issues of not understanding that. Anyways, it could be many things. It could be first, fundamentally not understanding the philosophy of the platform on which you have been invited to speak. The second one is like a feel of overconfidence that I can actually institute my own platform even on another person's platform, or I can institute my own the way I feel I can lead. And then there is a typical problem that we all said it. I've said it on this platform before, that when Buhari was to become the president of Nigeria, when he was campaigning, it would just speak. It was time the man of few words, and people started talking about body language, and the body language has led us to the dungeon we are today. And that is really no disrespect to the president, but that is the truth. Like, we talk about body language and we hear things like the killing of that Deborah is in Nasarawa state, and the president kept mum about it. Many things happened in the country, and the president wasn't talking. And when it was time to say this is who I support for the presidency, that's the only thing I believe it could be silent about naturally. But every other thing that is of urgency, and that has the capacity to overturn the peace of Nigeria, the president would just keep mum and we wouldn't hear anything. But when it is the time to talk about Nigerian youth are lazy, Nigerians are this and that in the diaspora, and the clique of some very patriotic Nigerians in their own times, they talk about Nigerians abroad as the ones, blacklisting the name of the country. But the point is, we should not overlook very simple things like this. Where have you seen it since the campaigns began that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has subjected himself to public, questioning? I mean, it is important at this point. We should not be biased in the way we analyze candidates. I am totally, totally going to talk about what Peter Obi also did. I've never seen him on at Shiloh events before, and it was the first time. So these people are typically the same thing, right? So I don't know. I don't know. It's just a normal. Someone said, well, that's his own way of captivating the Christians in Nigeria. Say, I'm with you, I stand with you. So if you become the president, who should the Muslims stand with? So we cannot be condemning the APC for a Muslim ticket and not condemn Peter Obi's stance for Christianity, because Christianity, Nigeria is not a religious country. It is a secular country, and we must understand. And that is why we are rejecting APC's Muslim ticket. That we are saying it cannot happen. So Peter Obi should have shown more grace. He should have shown more poise, more grace by, being a presidential aspirant of Nigerians and not just Christians in Nigeria. So that's one thing as well. So at this time, I think we should be very, very unbiased in our analysis. What Asiwaju Bola Ahmed did, and someone, but this not even someone, many people have said it on Twitter that you cannot be supporting APC without sounding stupid, and I am beginning to realize that that's the truth, because I hear someone saying, what's the name of this man that went to be interviewed by Charles on Arise TV, and was like, and he was really getting combative, let me school you. You don't understand what leadership is. You don't understand his own style of leadership. I mean, this is not about his style. This is about Nigeria. It is not about a, a man's business. It is about all of us. Everything that happened in 2014, 2015 has resulted to what we are experiencing today. And that is because we fail to understand the simple little things. We fail to observe and take our observation into actions, and we keep overlooking things. We are so emotional as citizens, as electorates. We make our emotions. Someone tell me, you are a Yoruba man. If you don't vote for Atiku, for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are really a bastard of the Yoruba region. If you are not voting Peter Obi as an Igbo man, then you must be a bastard. And if you are an Hausa man or a Fulani man, you are not voting Atiku. Enough of that, gaslighting. When the chiefs are down, their own children are going to be enjoying better things abroad, and while the Yoruba man's child will still be doing agbero in Lagos, the Yoruba man's child will still be kept out of school for many months by ASUU strike.
But anyway, you have taken the topic to another length. But I want to say that, can we actually take away the maybe Yorubaness in us, or Igbo or Hausa-ness in us in this election that's coming? Wait, don't answer that yet. I also want to say that I've also listened to other people who say Chatham House, they might they may have been having people who come and deliver monologue speech, like Tinubu initially delivered, okay, and then they answer questions and that. But is there anything against him coming up with his own style of answering questions?
It is, and that is what rule and order means. The Chatham House philosophy. I mean, if anybody is going to be interviewed by any company, you are going to first read about the company so that they will understand that yes, you are a researcher, you have done your own due diligence before coming. So I mean, you can do it anywhere to institute your own style of leadership. But the Chatham House is, if we go ahead and you can browse it now and go to the Chatham House platform, and what do they offer? It is for you. We are talking about accountability. This is the only place that people, leaders go to, and they are held accountable for whatever they say. Now, my question is, can I hold El Nasir? Politics is a game of interest. Today, Nasir El-Rufai is with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Tomorrow, he might be with Atiku. In the next, by the time, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes the president by May 2023, and by 2027, when he will probably be contesting for re-election, and Atiku is also up against him, Nasir El-Rufai might be standing with Atiku by that time. So who do I really hold accountable? That's my question. That's my worry. That's my concern. And if we say he delivered his own, what's it called, speech. What speech that was teleprompted? So the speech that he was reading, they say the Nigerian youth are lazy, but now they are showing that they are really not lazy. They can use their laziness to do some other stuff. I mean, if you really have a job, you will not be looking for all of those loopholes. Many people are looking for loopholes and they are finding it and they are looking and they are pointing it out. Some people are just dedicated to doing that. Just whenever Tinubu says something like this, they will just look, just like this man is doing, Festus Keyamo. Once Obi does anything, you also and Tolu Ogunlesi, they will go and do fact checking and all that, and they will say this man him too dey lie. So things like this,
Yeah, but Chimla, if you look at that,
right?
that which you just said now, do you think it's not distracting us away from the nitty-gritty or the cocoa of what these people are actually saying?
And that's the
You know,
point. And
because
that's the point.
each time there is, even when Tinubu is talking, you see people coming down there and commenting, Obi must win in this election. You see Tinubu, I mean, Obi talking, you see people coming and saying Atiku must win. People are not really critiquing the point. It's been,
Right.
oh, he has a gaff, or he misspell, he missay something, wanted to say PDP, and which is no big deal as far as I'm
It
concerned,
is,
because
sir. It is.
young people can actually do that too.
They can do that, but some things are not excusable. You are talking about APC and you are calling PDP. God bless PD. No, now. So that should tell you. I mean, the arch enemy of APC today is PDP. Why would you be mentioning PDP when you want to say God bless APC? No,
Yeah.
that's too much of a mistake, of an error. It is too much of an
Okay.
error. So that speaks a lot about what people are saying. That maybe this man has neurological issues. Maybe he's really sick in the head or in the mind. And that is
Hmm.
not totally untrue. So we can look at it from that perspective. Why many people can make mistakes. I've listened to Peter Obi add and what's it called, slip of the tongue many times. Many times. But these things are still excusable because he will come back and repeat what is right, even though he would say, these are usually grammatical errors that I have noticed personally. I mean, Atiku is I don't know, almost as old as Tinubu, right? Why are people not picking on whatever he says? But the point is,
What
that's
about, but do you think, I think, who do you think is more popular in this election season so far?
even if Bola Ahmed Tinubu was unpopular, all of the campaigns that the Nigerian youth are indirectly doing for him will make him
Hmm.
popular. And he's the most, that's the truth. He's the most popular in this election. But
Yeah.
he's actually the most popular, and it could be because of my demography. Because maybe I'm from the Yoruba region, Southwestern region, and
Hmm.
most people I interact with are from that region. So
Yeah.
mostly my feeds on Twitter are, Yoruba people talking about Tinubu. So that could be a
Yeah.
reason why it's popular to me. If you talk
Yeah.
to another
But
person from
Yoruba
this,
people are also criticizing him actually.
they are
Yeah.
criticizing
Yeah.
him, but yeah, that's true anyways. But
Hmm.
but we all know that if I was an Igbo person, Peter Obi will be more popular to me, right? Because most of the people on my timeline will be Igbos, and
Yeah.
they'll be talking about him. And if I was a
uh
Fulani,
And that was why I asked you, do you think there's any way we can make the politics of Nigeria a little less about tribe? Because when I look at when there's anything about Tinubu, I mean Obi, majority of the people that comment, because now that I take it as a researcher to go under those comments or under those posts. You understand? I want to understand the mentality of the people. Do you understand?
right?
So I go there to deliberately read the comments, and I also look at the name, because by as Nigerians now, virtually by the reason of your name, you can actually guess where this person is from.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh. So do you think we can take away the you know the clinching or as a result of tribe? Do you think we can take it away in this?
there is a potential solution to that. There's a potential from my own perspective, anyways. It's my
What is
opinion.
it?
So, it's opinion
Let's have it.
sharer. It's about
Mm-hmm.
making it. It's about making the Nigerian politics regionally competitive, as it were before. You know, the
Mm.
southwestern people for themselves, the southeastern people for themselves, and the northern people for themselves. And
Mm.
let's see how it's
Okay.
going to work. Not a particular region feasting on the commonwealth of the nation. Let
Yeah.
everybody work for themselves and let us decentralize power. Let us disintegrate power. That is the only way. Power, you cannot have almost two-thirds of the Nigerian citizens from a particular region, and what the high GR they are generating is not equivalent to what they are taking. I mean, in terms of resources, we were just before the show on the back end, we were talking about resources and allocation of resources and how
Mm.
population and census process, the population process actually takes, significance in these
Mm.
processes. So it is
Mm-hmm.
important for us to look at it. If the northern part of the country are about two-thirds or less than, I don't want to be quoted anywhere, but this is the point. Like, we know that they are the largest part of the region of the country, the northern
The
people.
largest in land mass,
In
right?
land,
Me, I don't believe.
that is the point.
Generally,
You know why
me,
you know why I
I
love
don't
that.
believe it,
You know
that
why I love
population.
you know why I love what you just said. You don't
Mm.
believe it, but the
Yeah,
facts on paper in Nigeria constitutionally believes it, and that's the problem.
yeah, yeah.
You don't believe it, but when it is time to now say budget, oh, how many states do we
Time
have?
to
Oh,
share money and
time to share
to.
money, then it becomes effective, and it doesn't matter what you think or what any other reasonable Nigerian thinks.
True. Well, now they say they've discovered oil in some parts of north. Maybe regionalization maybe could become attractive to the north again now. Who knows? At
Well,
least.
so there is a difference between prospecting, exploration, and development. So what they have found is prospect. They discovered oil is prospect. Now, is it in commercial quantity? That's the questions we should be asking. So these things are just political games, and it is the mandate Buhari came to fulfill for the northern people.
Mm.
You would see they talk about body language. His body language has always been about looking for more oils, even when the ones we are just squandering the revenues from it. So what's the point? And the truth is that if you are going to prospect, you cannot tell how much billions of dollars have gone into that prospecting, into that exploration. And now, when you want to develop, let's see what is going to happen, how much is going to go down the drain for something that might not be commercial at the end of the day.
Mm. Okay, Tim, let's go back to the topic of Tinubu's Chatham House.
Right.
So I wrote an article during the week. I don't know if you had time to read it.
Yeah.
I was talking about the fact that people, especially the Nigerian media, I, and somehow I don't I did not like that Tinubu seemed to be avoiding them, but at the same time I do not like the fact that Arise TV, which I love very much. I used to watch virtually almost all their major that morning show, or whatever they call it. I
Yeah.
used to watch it, but now it's becoming non-interesting to me because I see this one they posted it 1 hour ago. By the time they post another one 3 or 4 hours ago, it has everything is about Tinubu's Chatham House, Tinubu's Chatham House. That some people are in. Somebody is talking about it. Another person is talking about it. Now, my point is that are we not missing out the point here? What's important? And let me tell you what I think is important here.
Okay.
That what if Tinubu already know that all these people, all these Timileyin, Paul, Tosin and co, that is on Twitter, these people are not going to support me, okay? Whether they
Mm-hmm.
are home or abroad,
Mm-hmm.
they are the ones that are always criticizing him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that people like Tinubu in Tinubu's team does not have data. Do you understand? I don't
Mm-hmm.
think they don't have data. I feel like they have data in terms of who votes, where those who vote are. Even
Mm-hmm.
our Twitter feed, I'm sure that there are some guys, some tech guys in Nigeria, whether working with government or working as
Yeah.
a in a private organization that have access to our behaviors online. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
That they know, okay, that these people they are not going to vote for me. So if they are not going to vote for me, why do I need to spend my time convincing them by coming to the TV and engage in the debate and all of these things? Because it's appeal to us. It's not appeal to people in my village. Maybe you
Okay.
understand.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
think I love that question. So, what if we are not focusing on on the important things, right?
yeah,
So the point is, I love the way you just said it. So it is just like saying, Atiku, the southwestern people will not vote for you, so don't go and campaign there, isn't it?
no, that's not a zone.
Okay.
I'm not talking about a zone. I'm talking about a demography.
A demography. You said they have data, and I'm actually going there. If they truly have data, they would have seen the data that was released by HINEC earlier in,
Hmm,
I think it was in July or August,
hmm,
that the number of people that are registered now newly, that the number of the demographic, we're talking about the youths, that
mhm.
we all saw the data, right? So what if they really had it, they would know that they needed to talk to the youth. If that's
Yes,
the
but
truth.
what I'm saying is, if you already know that there's no how I talk to Timle until next year, he's not going to change his mind.
So
Will
it
I
doesn't
not
want
vote for
it
part
doesn't
of
want to
people
win
that?
it doesn't want to win the elections because it must have just got the data that, well, the Nigerian youth are now interested in election. They are
Yeah.
collecting their PVC, they are registering. And in fact, record data that has never happened in Nigeria before among the Nigerian youths. That shows that something is building up. I
Hmm.
have said it many times on this platform. Whatever is building up in the Obi camp might not necessarily be, if only is resilient. It might not only just be for 2023. It might be beyond that. If he's resilient, if he's not just, just giving in that, well, maybe I didn't win this election, well, that's just it. Or he makes the mistake of going back to PDP or something like that. It's going to be a very terrible political mistake for him. I'm not saying he's not going to win this election, but what I'm just saying is just that whatever is building up has to be, it is organic at the moment. It has to be
Yeah.
sustained.
Okay.
He
That he
has
has to
to,
project beyond 2020.
exactly, exactly. And if he has good advisors, they must have told him that. So the point
Well,
you were talking about interest. Like, these people will probably not vote for me. The point is the people that are now interested, and that talks about the character of whoever we are campaigning for. Some people, I know some people, they are supporting Peter Obi because they are just from the southeastern part of the country. But a very large number of people are supporting him because they feel like he's going to be a breeze of fresh air for Nigerians. That's one. But the question is, the people supporting Tinubu, what is their interest? Is it just because I'm Yoruba or because I need access to power?
No, I'm talking about now. Let's look at people who are voting because it's their party. Okay,
Yeah,
and let's not make the mistake that okay, because of Buhari's mess up, that APC is still not popular. There are people just like you have them in PDP, you
right,
know, that
right.
consistently since they've been voting for PDP, whether they pass or they fail, whether they did well or they didn't do well.
Yeah,
You understand? So there are such people.
there are such people because they have been favored by the PDP. Some of them, yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Let's go down the local government lane, the state governments, in state constituencies and all that. Many people, they are high chiefs in their localities, in their communities, and PDP have installed their children as permanent secretaries. You don't expect them not to tell their people, ẹni tó mú jẹ́ wálé leléyìí o, this is the person that's bringing you, and it's because of PDP that this person is bringing money on. So all of you go out and vote. That's the correct influencer, not one yeye Twitter influencer. Those are the correct influencers, and they are everywhere in the grassroots. You see what Ebun what's the name of this man? Olaya Igwe. You see what he did? Very shameful. Very shameful. But the truth is, everyone he talks to is going to talk to them so passionately about the APC. Now, this man might not be a card carrying member. He's voting for the personality of Tinubu. And that is why we need to ask questions. This Nigeria is not anybody's property. You cannot, because somebody paid for you when you were sick, and that person should become Nigerian president. Is that not crazy?
I didn't know that I'm muted. Just like if politics is about interest, right? That interest, you have to drag it to the level of individual. So as some people will vote for APC because of what they call it, that thing they were giving to youths. What they call them?
Palliative, ah?
Eh?
Palliative
No, it's not
or
politics.
empower.
Empower, yeah. There are people who will deliberately. In fact, there was a time that people, when we were criticizing Buhari on Twitter. Somebody said all of them like that. They always mobilize themselves. They are empower people, young people. You see, they are even when Buhari was seriously criticizing Nigerian youth, they were still defending him. With everything that they have in them. So there are such people like that. Like you have Ebonlo Ede. It is his allegiance is to the person of Tinubu, but there are
Yeah,
also people whose allegiance might be depending on anything. So it's all interest.
that's exactly what I'm saying. It is interest, but we need to query what our interest is as humans. I
Yeah.
know if the village boy was there, he would say, Timina, you are not being realistic. People in the grassroots, they don't care. They don't care about all of these analysis we are doing. But that is the truth. If really we are nation builders, if
Hmm.
really this platform is set up for people to be educated about what interest really should mean in the political space, it shouldn't be because somebody gave you money. You are just one person out of over 200 million people.
Yeah, but that person is speaking for himself, right?
And that is the truth. And that's why you should not bring it to Twitter.
Why?
That is the point. Because it is just for you. Buhari not do me good. He not do you good. He did him good, ba? So he should
Yeah.
just keep it to him and his family. And he should be influencing this. That's the see what he did. And what he did, eh? Yoruba people, you always say, Ilé ẹni láti ń jẹ òkúta onídodo. If he
Yeah.
did it and he prayed to the God, somebody, there is this one who that trust that said, if this man had done this thing for himself, like go to Oluweri Mabojo and pray that God should revive his career, maybe God would have listened to him. But you are doing it for somebody else. And you are now, it is not shameful enough that you are stripping yourself naked to pray for another person. You are now posting your nudes. Like you are posting it on the social media. It is shameful.
Let me tell you something, Timileyin. When there is trouble in Yoruba land, not even Yoruba itself. I think it is common in Africa.
Yeah.
Women will strip themselves. And when women strip themselves, or when people strip themselves, what is this sign? It's a sign that that thing is maybe very very bad, or they are demonstrating their displeasure, or
Yeah.
it is an height of something. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So this person is demonstrating as a Yoruba person that this is an height of something, and people might say, "Oh, he went to Oluweri." It might be that that might be what he believes in.
Well, I
Yeah.
have seen, yes, culturally, when Yoruba women do that,
Hmm.
it could mean many things. I have seen people that they say if a Yoruba woman strips herself naked and curses you, that you are done. Your
Yeah.
own, you support the law.
Hmm.
Or if she prays for you or with you with that,
Hmm.
I mean that's a cultural, I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
mythology or
it's a
whatever.
cultural
But
understanding.
have
Yeah.
you heard it before in the culture of Yoruba that a man does that?
No, but see, that is where that is when you now look at
It does not even signify anything in the Yoruba culture that a
yeah,
man strips himself
no,
naked.
what it means,
What it
what it
means is
means is that
denigration,
no, no.
desecration.
No, see, in our own day and time, it means denigration, it means embarrassment, right?
In those
But as
days,
well
a Yoruba man, mi rí kà nínú aláwìyé o.
as ó yé mi, èmi náà sọ pé mo rí kà. Èmi náà sọ pé mo rí kà. I'm just saying that it would have mean that, oh, this was something critical for him. That's that's just what I think.
Yeah, but for no reason should that make it to the public. That's just my own
Of
concern,
course, I've
anyways.
not even seen the video really. I just seen people talking about it.
Ah,
Okay, there was one
is an
comedy.
eyesore. Is an
There was
eyesore.
one comedy tí mo rí pé mò ń gbóhùn táwọn girls méjì, boy kan àti girl kan báyìí tó máa ń paint ara wọn ní I mean powder bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ò mọ bóyá o mọ̀ wọ́n tó máa wọ red,
I'm
ọkùnrin
not
àti
sure I
obìnrin.
do know that. No,
Wọ́n
I
ṣe
don't know that.
comedy láwọn people yẹn. So they were standing behind something that looks like a river. And then they now in that video they now put the video of ṣé ẹ̀bùn olóyèdè àbí kí tẹ̀ lórúkọ máa yẹn náà,
Olaya Igwe.
Ọláìyá Igwe. Wọ́n á put ọ̀rọ̀ voice here and a blurred picture of him, and they brought out a broom to flog the to flog him. And I
Yes,
was
now.
thinking, babe, what does this mean now?
It is actually shameful for a man,
Later ni mo wá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá rí ibi tí kí ni ṣé Kọ́lá Olóòtú àbí kí ló ń pè ẹnìyẹn tó bá ń sọ Yorùbá,
Yeah,
eh, ẹhẹ́n, dàbí Kọ́lá Olóòtú ni ẹnìkan ṣe fi short video about 2 or 3 minutes tí mo rí ní Instagram tó ń sọ pé
right.
he was saying, sorry for those who do not understand Yoruba. He was saying that, well, he called Olaiya, and Olaiya said, you may not understand why I have done what I have done. That he was at a point where all hope was lost for him, and nobody came to his help, but for the Tinubus and all of those things.
Sir,
I just
I under,
I
I
want
have listened. He even did a video about it before when they were doing the APC convention for the primaries. He said
uh,
he said a similar thing. But the point
oh,
is,
okay.
if Olaya Igwe had died, who's lost?
He's lost now.
His loss, his family's loss. So those people
Yeah.
that would have lost him should be the people that say, see, if I don't die, even though before this man, if I don't die, but because he
Mm-hmm.
saved me, go and vote for him. It's not my loss if he died. That's the
Uh-huh.
truth. So that we cannot use one man and say you should you should come and fill our eyes with filth on social media. That woman said it's not even fine. Look at his black this, his black that, So,
Well,
so
that one
you
now
know,
for people will see the this thing. Me, I don't see.
it is, see, whether even if he was an handsome man or whatever, so sexually appealing person, it does not make sense to make
Yeah,
to
yeah, of course.
make to for any reason, for any reason,
Yeah. Anyway, so
for any reason. So
let's
it's
now let's round up.
that's where his own interest lies. Yeah, that's where his
Yeah.
own interest lies. So another thing that I wanted to mention regarding this Chatham House
Hmm.
speech is
Yeah.
shortly after.
Mm.
Shortly after, um, shortly after the Chatham House speech or all the dramas that
Mm.
happened there, because I'll just call them
Yeah.
as drama. Because do you know that they interviewed some personnel from the Chatham House and they were like they have never seen this kind of something before, and they talked about it and they actually denigrated whatever he did there as out of the
Oh,
norm.
okay.
You did not see the interview. It was a video
No,
interview.
I
Okay, I'll look
didn't see
for it
that.
and send you the video. And it
Okay.
was actually a staffer of that Chatham House platform that talked about it.
Ah,
Like
okay.
somebody was asking me that have you heard or seen any leader from any country, or political leader talk about bringing his own team to. I mean, you are not a president yet. You are just an aspirant. You are not a president yet. You are just an aspirant.
Yeah.
And this person was like, well, it's a different thing if you were a president. But as an aspirant, it drifted away from the philosophy of that platform. So number one, why did they now have to go? Because they knew the script they were playing, they are acting out. Why did he now have to subject himself to a pre-recorded interview with Okoche? Why? Of the BBC.
A pre-recorded. Well, it couldn't have been a live interview now.
That's the question. You had an opportunity to speak to people live. So what's the essence of a pre-recorded interview again? It's not necessary, is it?
No, I think they had an appointment with the guy because I saw his Twitter. Okay, I mean I saw his tweet that
Yeah.
people have not even seen the interview. They already insulting
I read
him.
it. I read it in your this thing,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
the way many people felt was the way I felt when I read your own article too.
What did they pay?
I was like, so what is the whole essence of the Chatham House interview? What is the essence? Let us
Different
just
different platforms now, Timileyin.
different platforms. But the
Uh-huh.
point is, people are coming to ask you. This one is not a premeditated question from just a singular person. Remember, just one journalist has their own
Timileyin.
opinion. Let
Na,
let's
na,
let's let's be sincere
wait,
with ourselves.
wait
Let's
first.
be, sin- let me let me
Are
let,
you
me- let me
saying
let me land
what you are
this one.
saying?
Let me land, sir. Let me
Okay,
land, sir.
land.
Let me land, sir. This
Okay.
person, this is just one journalist
Hmm.
who has his own opinions. But you had the opportunity of having numerous Nigerians ask you questions,
Yeah.
and you refuse to answer by bringing your team Abba. And you have done it twice, not even the first time. Why you no bring Iyaboyeji come Chatham House? Now, and this question boils down to even competence. Has Nasiru El-Rufai been able to curtail insecurity issue in Kaduna State? And he's talking about the national insecurity issue. No,
Yeah,
now.
unfortunately, I think that is absolutely wrong.
It's
Okay.
that's a big error.
Yeah, it is an error as far as I'm concerned too. I agree with you. But the interview with the BBC, see, Tim Lane, I want us to look at being able to say, okay, he was wrong in this one. Okay, and
Yeah.
this other one, okay, is fair, or at least it's okay. You cannot say, oh, it doesn't make sense. It's like being, it's like being
You
those
know the
guys
problem
that
you know the problem with that interview.
Abi, Kilo Ruka
You
Obaye.
know the problem with that interview? The problem
Yeah, what?
about that interview is not the interview. It's just almost the same thing as what happened in 2012 January with Goodluck Jonathan when he removed subsidy at the new year. In the very new year, he removed subsidy. It was just ill-timed. And now somebody just did a sham of a speech at Chatham House, and almost 45 minutes after, some some journalist is coming online to say I'm interviewing somebody. It was just ill time. It was still hot, hot. The Chatham House interview was hot, hot. It was hot. And people were still
So
discussing it.
so which means both Nigerians, both
They know they are
as much
playing
as
the same
Tinubu
game.
fucked up, Nigerians also fucked up.
Who never fuck off?
Okay, who never fuck up? Hands in the
So, so, so,
air.
so you understand my point? It was simply ill timed.
Okay.
People were see that Chatham House was where people have already said that this man has been making incoherent statements and all. So people were waiting like this Chatham House. No way
We
you
go
go do
catch
am.
am.
No, no way you go do am.
Exactly.
You can't carry
Exactly my point.
everybody. You can't carry everybody handicap.
So,
When they bring Ben Ayade, bring
you
Wale,
see,
Kinikon, bring.
okay,
You
Timlane,
get what I mean?
Timlane. Let's be honest now. It's like what people were waiting for is many gaff that they can record, not necessarily that they want to listen to him.
No, because they know that he has problems.
Exactly the purpose of
Um,
that my article. That
exactly.
instead of us listening to him or any candidate whatsoever, you know,
See,
because
people.
this our generation, we already tag him as this guy go fuck up.
No, not
So
just people.
now the
Not
fuck
just
up we dey wait for.
not just this boy go. This man go fuck up. This is the point. People are saying. People have seen these people rule, govern
Hmm.
at the national level, and Buhari, Tinubu is boasting of the fact that I brought Buhari to power. So now, where is all of this your ingenious skills, government techniques, leadership techniques? Why are you not bringing them to bear? In advising Buhari or in recommending some of these your technocrats.
We know they say even Oshibajo that was in the vice president was benched. How much
So,
more?
so,
How
so,
much more, Tinubu? We
so
know that
now,
Oshibajo was benched. It was
so,
obvious. At least that one was obvious to us.
so what happened in 2019? In
When?
2019, Tinubu could have just said, okay, oh, since you no gree answer me, oh, I no go support. But he too had his own intention.
Yeah,
Of
of course.
and unfortunately, he is not the
Timlane.
he
That
is
is
sim
politics. You are making
that
me now. You are making me look as if I'm defending him.
no no
I
no no
don't
no no
like
no.
it.
I'm not defending or opposing Tinubu. This is opinion sharers.
Yeah, of course, it's opinion
And
share.
like they will
So,
say,
so
I no get
see, there
PVC.
was a
I get
time.
am, but I no go vote.
Me, I no get,
Me,
I no go vote,
me,
and I'm not interested in. Well, maybe if I go to Nigeria before election, I probably would like. But I go don't miss even
ó ti
registration
lọ,
now. So,
ó ti lọ,
oh,
ó ti
till Lord,
stop, ó ti lọ.
oh, till Lord. So
So
which
the
means I
point
can't vote even if I
it's
go
not
to
just
Nigeria.
it's
See,
not
my,
just
my
that
point is this:
it's not just sir, it's not just that they are expecting him to make grammatical blunders or errors or whatever.
oh,
The point
gaffs.
is people already know that this person has problem,
Hmm.
but they are trying to establish it for Nigerian people to see that see,
They
don't make the
know
same
or
mistake.
they believe.
They no now. We all see the videos now.
No, if you see when they say you know something, it means you are a researcher now. It means you have critical
Fact.
or facts,
It is a
evidence,
fact.
right?
It is fact
Eh,
and evidence that informs.
So
Videos.
who can
They are the
confirm
facts.
who can confirm that somebody is sick? Is you have to be a medical person, and you
No
have seen the
now.
results.
No now. Even if you get to meet his medical doctor today, he will
Uh,
quote confidentiality,
of course,
and he will not talk about his medical history. So people
unless if
already
the law, if we
people
have a law in Nigeria that
people
compels them to reveal their health, that would have
people
been good.
people have
Unfortunately, we don't.
established people have established through several social appearances that he has made that this man, his hands are shaking. I mean, these are the blessings of old age,
Hmm.
right? These are the perks that come with being an old man. And
Yeah.
Nigerians are simply, Nigerian youth, I believe not all Nigerians don't want him. Nigerian youth are simply saying, well, we are not interested in you being our president for so
Yeah.
and so reasons. See,
Yeah.
let me tell you
No,
something.
not not
If
not
Buhari,
not
if
for not.
Tinubu, if Tinubu came out maybe 10 years ago, I personally
Hmm.
would campaign for him. Trust me when I say that, and I seriously mean it. Because in those days, when I was in the university, I used to look at him as, oh, this political enigma, this and that. But this man is now a shadow of what he used to be. And that is the truth. We should not just try to be economical with the truth. No
Okay.
man is invincible. No man is invincible.
Mm.
People change, and you are getting old and you are changing. Recommend one of the best brains that you have. You say you have the best brains at your disposal. Why not recommend just one of them? Why? Why not just recommend one of them and let them be at the helm of the affair? And the problem with Nigerians today is that statement a Molokan like entitlement, like I ought to be the president, and
Mm.
not based on competence, right? And that is the issue Nigerian youth have it. So they already established based on many evidences they have that this person is not fit. And this person is probably going to subscribe to medical tourism if he becomes the president as well, just like
How did
Buhari
it,
did.
anyway, maybe in another show, I thought we were going to spend 30 minutes, now already 45 minutes. Maybe in another show, we will look at how did Tinubu get to defeat, Oshibado.
Ha!
And, and,
Ah!
and if he was able to easily defeat Oshibado, how, what are the
He did not
tendencies?
defeat just to Osibajo. Osibajo came distant third in that competition.
This time thought, yeah. I wrote that
He
in my
came
article.
distant third. So
Yeah.
what we should actually be talking about is how did he defeat Osibajo? No, how did he defeat what's the name of Rotimi Amechi and
I
Osibajo?
wrote no, how he defeated all of them. Now
No,
the,
no,
the
those are
thing
the
is
two
that
prominent competitors. In fact, I used to think that it was Osibajo that was a competitor,
yeah.
but that is to tell you.
So if he was that smart with that, even Emilokon. In fact, I don't even. Now I was angered. I was annoyed by that Emilokon, that phrase that he used at that time. But now looking at him, I
Mhm.
know that it is possible for somebody who did not really understand the disposition of a typical Yoruba man to be angry. A typical Yoruba man of his age and caliber. I'm sure many of those demeanor, way of talking, but I don't want to mention his name. There are many people will think, oh, this is bragging. It is not.
But that's his personality anyway.
That's his personality. Kò ṣe pé ó
That's
ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀
his,
bẹ̀rẹ̀.
so that's his personal. And these are the things
It's even
Nigerians are critically analyzing and say,
it is
is
even
this
common. It's common to many old Yorubas.
oh, if you say
Àbí
so?
mo parọ́ ni?
Not, I mean, we just established the fact that it is his own personality. Not
No,
everybody
I'm
has the
putting it
same
to you.
personality.
Do you think that is not relatively common among old Yorubas who are relatively well-to-do in their society?
Well,
That kind of demeanor.
I will not admit to that. I will not agree.
Okay
I will
now.
not agree. It still boils down to his personality. That's his own personality. I
Okay.
mean, we have Wole Soyinka that is well to do, right? We have BC Akande that is well to do. We have many people. We have
Well, I don't
even
know that much of BC Akonde, but I know that Wole Soyinka doesn't do that.
right. There are. I mean, we have what's his name, Oshibajo. We have plenty people. We have even Obasanjo, who has been president as a military man and as
Mm.
a civilian,
Obasanjo can do worse.
but we have never seen it happen.
Obasanjo can do worse than that.
But we have never
Obasanjo is
seen it
like a street
happen.
person now.
But he has never done
Baba
that.
was
That is,
jumping. I saw a video earlier today when he was jumping from a podium down. When there is a staircase, we
eh,
could
but
have just walked
has he
down the
made such
staircase.
statement before?
Eh?
Has he made such statement before?
Pé èmi ló kàn.
The only
Well,
person that I know, I have one person that I know can also make such statements is Femi Fani Kayode. He can say the same thing. He speaks with both sides of his mouth. He would also say the same thing. He will say a similar thing.
well,
Even if Sowore becomes as great as Tinubu, he will say the same thing. So there
oh,
are some people with such personalities. pride, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, there are people with such. Not everybody has that personality, so we can actually mention people with those tendencies. But as
Well,
great, as
me, I don't
great
see. I
and
don't
prominent,
necessarily. Other people may see it as pride, but
it
I
is. It is.
necessarily don't necessarily see it as pride.
It is. It is. It is. When some people are entitled, there are some people maybe from Nigeria now asking you for
Are you
money.
saying
They
Showore
are
is proud?
entitled. They would. Abba, don't let us go back to that topic. There are probably people from Nigeria asking you for money today, or maybe some of your old friends asking you for money, and they feel entitled, and they will say, and you're supposed to give me something now. But if you say
Uh,
I don't have, oh, maybe
mm,
it's not part of my budget now, oh, or this and that, oh, and they'll
mm,
just say, okay, no problem. But some people will say, who you be? On top say they won't collect your money. Who you be?
uh,
Those ones are different from begging you, even though they're entitled, but they still beg you for it.
they
But
will
some
say, on
people they
top
are
of all the
entitled.
things that I've done for you.
Yes, that is it is different. Is different. So
Yeah.
there are people with such tendencies, and there are people that are cool. I see there is difference between being calm, gentle, or whatever, and not being proud.
Okay.
That's why I say Baba Obasanjo might be everything you call him, but it wouldn't make such people led with it. People actually handled fame with grace. There are people like that that handled fame with grace. Like that's who Obasanjo is. You will not him is a military man, he can shout, he can, but he will never say come to a personal time and talk from both sides of the mouth like that.
Okay. Anyway, let's go now. I thought we were going to make it sharp, sharp, but then it
I
has
mean, it's
dragged.
fine. It just shows that it's enjoyable, right? To talk about politics in Nigeria.
It is.
Maybe someday we'll just shy away from talking about politics. There are so
Honestly,
the
we
truth
should.
is it looks like Nigerians are educated enough about the next election, so maybe they don't really need to hear us talk about it as much as we do. Maybe we just
Okay.
branch to other sides and talk about other things that will be of social value to people in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate and I look forward
All right.
to yeah.
Definitely, it's coming. It's
Right.
coming. It's coming. I mean, it's coming. I balance the human so.
It's,
And yeah, every
ẹ
day
má fi
there's
wá
a
sí
new
ìsìkọ̀ mi
thing.
o.
It's going. Have you till law?
Ó ti lọ. And sọ pé ó ti lọ. I heard
Okay.
somebody took my name to Shiloh this thing.
Was that you or the video?
The person wrote God make Olúwatímilẹ́yìn marry me 2023 mo ní sọ pé ó ti lọ.
How till law? Oh. I saw that somebody took the video's name to this thing. I didn't even read it. I just go, I
Ó
want
ti
to come
ṣe
on my
mistake.
I don't know what I don't know what the person wrote anyway. Meanwhile, I saw one video by Teju. Is it Teju? But that guy they call Teju Moto. Is it Teju Moto? Abi? I think so. You know
Tell you
him?
baby face.
No, 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 not Babyface. Babyface is no longer in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's Teju Motors. The guy has a business. I think both automobile and real estate in Lagos. Young
Oh, I'm
guy.
not sure I know him.
Yeah. Ah, actually, more now. I think he's one of the big boys in Lekki.
Wow.
He made a fantastic video comparing Lagos and Abuja. It was very interesting. I saw it sometimes ago. You
Wow.
should
Maybe
check
I'll
it
look
out.
him up. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching today, and those who will still watch after today or later after we've closed this live video. So, Timnai, any closing remark?
Thank you very much. As usual, I would say you should know your candidate and critique your own interest. They say politics is a game of interest. Village Boy will advise you to to look out for your interest and then probably tell me to say to me be realistic. But the point is we should check if our interest is really an allegiance to Nigeria or to a singular person. So
Hmm.
personally, I don't care whoever is contesting for that position, but the point is, would it be good for Nigeria? Let's
Yep.
always ask ourselves that question.
Hmm. That's true. So thank you for watching Opinion Sharers today. We'll be back again, hopefully, God willing, next week with another topic. Um, I don't support any candidate as it is now. At least majorly because of opinion sharers, I am not allowed to support any particular candidate. So, but it is my responsibility to critique everybody.
Right,
To
right,
think and go through all of their whatever it is that is, people are talking about them, and try to uh, mediate.
right,
Anyway, thank you very, very, very much. We will see you again in the next one. Bye bye.
right.